we got basically the Pelicans is being rumored, is being put out there that the Pelicans actually want players that can help them right now in a trade. So it was rumored a couple of days ago, Indiana no longer in the trade, no longer in that sweepstakes for Trey Murphy. They ain't win them all now. So let's talk about it. Check out the Trey Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. From the Pacers standpoint of view, they probably don't have much left. Somebody's in the apartment schedule arguing me. Now look at that roster. Tyrese Halliburton gone. People saying, well, we got Zubat. Zubat is not nobody that you said, we got Zubat. Like, y'all literally gave up your 5th pick in one of the deepest drafts in a long time, for Zubat. I don't look at Zubat that way. You can find Zubat anywhere in the NBA. Real talk. But when I look at their roster, Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, Zubat, Andrew Nembhard, Johnny Furpey, Obi Toppins, Aaron Neesmith. I like Neesmith. I think Jarvis Walker is about time for him to develop. Other than that, like, I might as well just trade these niggas and blow it up when I look at Indiana. Honestly, I'll be dead ass serious. I don't see them especially without a draft pick. I don't see it. They might as well trade Halliburton, trade Spicy P, get some picks and start over. I literally don't see it, bro. But I don't really think Zubac was a big upgrade over Miles Turner at all, especially when you a Patriot team that like to get up and down the floor. With Halliburton, why the fuck would you go get a Zubac? I didn't understand that. Zubac kind of play more like the Pistons play. Slow it down, which the Pistons should push it a lot more, but that's nor here nor there, right? The Pistons should have pushed it a lot more. But in general, I don't see who they will give up. And why would you give up them to get Trey Murphy? Because you got Pascal Siakam and Neesmith at the wings. Now, if you're giving up Siakam for him, I mean, okay. You giving up an all-star for a guy that could be an all-star, a guy that can defend. I'm not sure that level of defender. Or maybe even able to handle the ball and distribute, kind of like Spicy P kind of could be like that point forward. But he's a better shooter, and you banking on potential. You got Aaron Neesmith who can defend and shoot. But is Neesmith and somebody else enough, or Toppins ugh to get you Trey Murphy? I would say not. I think a Pascal Siakam Trey Murphy may make more sense. But I don't think they're willing to do that, and that's why they dropped off the race. And I said from the beginning, it was already going to be a little bit hard for the Pistons to get them because Joe Dumars don't fuck with Tom Gores. So when you start to go down the list about who can help them right now, you're really starting to have a conversation with Dennis Jenkins, Isaiah Stewart, and really Asar Thompson's where you had that conversation at. Because they, help you right now. Ryan not gonna help you right now. If you can sign and trade Tobias over there, that'll help. So, in general, talking about right now, unless you're willing to do a during sign and trade over there, they pretty much what they saying is Asar, Stu, Harris, Jenkins, and maybe a guy like Duncan Robinson. That's what they're looking at. And it would have to be Stu, Jenkins. It has to be Stu and Jenkins minimum just to start the conversation. So they got a high price for him. I mean, like I said, I continue to say the rumor is Jackson Lindenberg ain't working out well in the draft. He could be falling. He coming off the injury too. But I listened to Nick Van Axel talk about how he didn't do good in his pre-draft workouts and he slid to 37. So if you kind of can guarantee Jackson Lindenberg being there at 21 or you can get him, And I just do that. And I put my resources in looking at a guy like Kawhi, or I just move on, look at a guy like marketing, and look at other fours that fit what I'm trying to do. You know, but if I can get Yendenberg and I can put him with Harris, and cool. And then I start looking at guards, guy that can play next to Cade, and the guy that can come off the bench that can give us something. So I heard kind of Klay Thompson wish list was like San Antonio, Houston. I think I know San Antonio, Houston was on the list, so he ain't trying to come back east, so it ain't no fucking big deal. So, you know, when you start to focus, you hear rumors that Miles Bridges could be traded in a deal for Domantas Sabonis, you know, sending him to Sacramento and Sabonis out to Charlotte. So, I mean, you know, you can get Vujovic in free agency and rotate him in there if you lose Paul Reed or if you lose Isaiah Stewart, which I don't really want to, but I think it's going to take more than Stu and Dennis Jenkins and maybe Duncan Robinson to get Trey Murphy, and then they still going to probably want to pick. So, because you got to remember, what's so funny about it is New Orleans traded their pick away. They traded it last year for Derek Queen. So right now when I look at their roster, they got a couple young guards back there, the Jeremiah Fears guy. So they need veterans. So they probably would value Tobias Harris. They probably would value Isaiah Stewart. You know, if you can do that, you know, I just feel like maybe then they might take a pick just to say we got a pick. But honestly, I just think you can get Lindenberg, or you can look elsewhere and do a different deal. Yeah, that's I feel like you can look elsewhere and get a different deal. I mean, there's other guys I'm gonna talk to. I mean, get Jalen Green and go get Monk. Jalen Green and get Bojanovic. But right now they got Zion, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, DeJounte Murray, Jeremiah Fears, Sadiq Bey, Derek Queen. I mean, yeah, they need some veterans. They got Hunter Dickerson over there, hilarious. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll let somebody else trade for him then. I mean, I ain't really tripping, you know. So if it's that expensive, it's a great fit. But honestly, if I'm giving up resources for a guy like that, like if I'm giving up like tangible resources, like players that's gonna help me right now, it would be a guy like that. But it sounds like they want to creep into the Pascal Siakam, the Sar Thompson. That's what it's telling me. And to me, I can go get Laxi Yendenberg and go check out Laurie Marketing. I can see what, you know, Milwaukee want to do for Bobby Portis, but it's a position that they got to fill. I'd even go look at Jeremy Grant. Before I really do that, you know, probably look at the price of, you know, see what they want for Keegan Murray. I know he didn't play that many games. I just started looking around, but it's going to be interesting. And maybe you can get in, you know, on that Sacramento deal, and maybe you could swing Bridges. I don't think that's a great fit. I'm just throwing it out there, but it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think. Check out the Trey Piston Talk playlist. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, wherever I'm at in the link tree. It's there. It says find me everywhere. Peace.